Alright, everybody, welcome back on in to another match here in Beyond All Reason. We have an 8 versus 8 on Starwatcher today. This is a East versus West map. Got some good players in here, so I'm hoping for an exciting game. We'll see what we get out of these 16 players. Let's meet the team leaders here. For the red team, starting on the back line, it is McJesus97 with an Armada commander. On the blue team, over the opposite side, front line, God hates cowards. Armada commander. Looks like he's going to be going for bots on the front line. This map is going to be pretty good for vehicles. There's a lot of open, flat land to utilize. So I do anticipate a lot of the players that do start with bots is just to get some initial res bots out and construction bots, and then they'll switch over to vehicles shortly thereafter. There are a couple high positions that you will need bots or air to get to, but most of this is open and flat. We do have an 8 versus 8, so we should have some tech players and some air players. We do have buttons 840 here going air on the back line for the red team. We'll see, we've got Darkwing going air in the back line here for the blue team. Getting some initial scouting out here from both teams. Looks like Screwish is coming forward with some ticks to scout with, as well as Volshock from the red team. Get a proper scout here from the air player, sending out a scout plane. Gonna give a lot of vision and let them know what's up and where people have spawned. The tick from yellow has been caught. They're trying to collapse in on it to prevent it from getting any information and getting in the back line and just being rather annoying. We have it going across the top. More ticks coming from the fuchsia player, the Ballad Eater. This tick here is going to wave to a res bot as it walks right past. Not seeing any damage coming out from these. Some tick on tick love. Looks like God Hates Cowards is going to go for a forward bot lab after he already has a bot lab. Just going for a lot of production. Commander gets a bunch of those ticks. This one's locked down by a shuriken, which is very nice. But some rovers are going to come down. There's already pawns over here. Shuriken's gonna catch these one at a time, and the pawns are gonna clean them up. Air player really saving some of the economy here on the back. As I say that, a couple rovers here from, who's that? Quit? Get through, take out some X's. Still not dealt with. They're not moving around, but they're still here. Meanwhile, this rover up here is still just chilling around. Nobody's taking care of it. Blue has a good line set up across the top to prevent any unopposed backline shenanigans. Most of the blue team has gotten their commanders that are front lines up to the front. Red team not far behind, maybe just the fuchsia commander here. Otherwise, the rest of them have made it up to the front. Looks like yellow's got a single tick here that is running amok in the back line, causing problems for Rimmer. Incisors just not quick enough to close the distance. And it gets away. And I don't think Quet's commander here is moving. Oh, there he goes. He's moving to intercept. Commander will make quick work of that. And down it goes. Rimmer building up an exploiter, which is going to lock this down. Oh, it's going to get degunned. Mr. Hale being risky there with this commander, as the anti-air capabilities of another commander taking that down equals it just dying instantly. LLT comes up, Exploiter gets D-gunned down. There's 2 commanders versus 1 down here. This is not looking good for Rimmer. His member of defense down here, Quit, is coming forward with some vehicles, but it's a little late to stem the damage that happened initially. They may come up and secure a front line, but farther back than they had originally anticipated, and that Exploiter would have been a great solid place to hold. They do have one to fall back on, but sad that that one got D-gunned down. Commander did go down here in the middle. This was the ground commander, Zim. Bullshock trying to eat up that corpse. Screwish gets in there, D-guns it down so he can't get the metal back. Leaves the blue team up 1 commander from the red team, which is always nice. Blue on the very top is pushing very hard against the Ballad Eater. We got a wave of ticks and then Rocketeers. Just being able to use the Rocketeers to bust through any of the defenses, and then the ticks to take care of anything that's fast that tries to collapse in on the Rocketeers. Green getting a run by of grunts here. Skag, I guess, the lime green player. These are getting a lot more done than they should have with how many units are chasing them down. Blue is collapsing on the Ballad Eater's commander here, who is frantically trying to D-gun and... Oh, come on. I want to call it. Down he goes. Nice. Alright. Down he goes, and these grunts are still just dealing economic damage now to the Fuchsia player, who is already having trouble holding back blue. Red is trying to clean this up for the Fuchsia commander, but the damage is already done. Lots of the energy production, mechs is taken out, and the front line just collapsed there. The blue player with these mass bots that he has, this forward bot lab. Is the red team gonna get any equivalent damage is the question. We have Mr. Hale still going around with his transport. He's got some maces positioned to maybe go through the water here. Try and do a little bit of a flanking maneuver. Got an LLT force down here. Rimmer is putting up an anti-air tower, which I do like because Mr. Hale has been using this transport a lot. If he gets hit by that AA tower, he's going to lose his commander immediately. Mines placed in the middle. That is a... You don't normally see that this early. Also across just the straight up middle of the map. The yellow player is completely in the know about those mines. Another commander goes down. This time it looks like it was the Savage Dad. McJesus is going to come up and try and reclaim some of this, which... If he can get it all reclaimed, it's not such a big loss. Blue's commander is far into enemy lines here. He is still pushing. He didn't get all the metal, so now blue is getting this reclaim, and that is not what the red team wants. Red coming back, trying to get back to that reclaim. Gonna have to be careful here. There's a lot here. Got tons of grunts from Skag, backed up with rocket bots, and then pawns from God Hates Cowards. Waiting to see if there's a transition coming from anybody to T2, which is really gonna push back all this. Quet has built up one heck of a T1 vehicle army and has broken through on the southern side here. Duffy, the commander, almost went down in this exchange. We got a bombing run coming out from Skag, who transitioned to air. So now we have bombers coming in to even soften up this northern side more. Red does have T2 out. Commander goes down for red. The bombers just directly targeted him, which normally not the best idea, but since there's all these fighters here, got something done with them. There's a few AA bots already built, so not going to get anything else done with those. Lots of shuriken to back this up. Just going to help to delay those T2 units from pushing across. Maces and Rocketeers trying to hold off against all the Stouts and Janus down on the bottom. What do we have in the middle? We got some Brutes coming in against an LLT Forest. Pop-up turrets. They're not going to make it, yeah. How is Blue's commander still alive in the middle of this? I want to know. I'd really like to know. Degunning down things. He's going to go down here. There's no way he makes it through this alive. There he goes. I don't know how he made it that far in the first place. But he's going to feed Red some metal here. And Red already has a T2 lab. Feeding him metal may not be the best thing. We get a run by from Rimmer's Brutes. Just running past the much slower Maces. Gets a couple mexes already, and it's kiting off a lot of these bots that are just going down as they chase. 3 mexes down now from this run by, and while he runs by and pulls attention, Quet is going through and doing the same thing on the southern side, and the Maces are just stuck in between the two groups of units. Shuriken coming down, which are going to slow down all of these medium tanks and put a stop to them. But while the Shuriken are there, they're not down here. And Orange's economy is about to get gutted. Shuriken get done with the forces up there by Rimmer and do get down here before Orange's economy gets destroyed. Just a couple mexes and some wind turbines. That's all that got taken down. Really lucked out. While that went on though, this front line from the blue team is just pushing forward. Red is coming back with a vengeance though. The T2 units giving him a huge edge on pushing back. And I'm wondering when the blue team is going to have a T2 answer of their own. Looks like we have T2 vehicles up here on the front lines by Screwish. Doesn't really have any out yet, but he does have the lab, and they need to get not just units, it needs to get the economy. It needs to get those construction vehicles distributed to his teammates. Because Red is already getting T2 mexes and going for fusions. If you do not keep up with that, Yellow's got T2 economy going as well. Your advantage that you have right now can really quickly evaporate if the other team gets a T2 economy before you do. Jeez, so many maces. It's going to take so long to collapse on the enemy, but there's just not enough tanks here. Going down, and gonna clear this up, and then you got the tanks from Duffy coming into, into D guns is what they came into. 4 of them went down right there to 2 of Quet's Quetz X, I don't know, D-guns. Meanwhile, we got a bunch of medium tanks coming in here to the forward outpost of Zim. Shuriken, though, gonna put a stop to that, and there's still no AA for the blue team here. Does have some Mausers here, which... Oh, there's a rattlesnake in the front line for Volshock, so... that can absolutely contest those Mauser. Red's T2 gets up to where Blue's commander is... who must have resurrected a commander, because he's got one again. Ugh. So much action everywhere on the map. A lot of medium tanks and maces coming down through. Quetz gets a good D-gun off, shaves off a good amount of those tanks. You're left with the slower maces to deal with, which is much easier, especially in this little bottleneck. Looks like we're gonna have some T1 spam. Who just blew up somewhere? Who did we lose? Purple went down. Which, Edo Crab, name I hadn't even called off yet, except for about the mines. Got a Sheldon ball coming now from Skag. He's got the radar jammer and the radar bot with it. Good setup. Tick spam gonna try and deal with these medium tanks, but there's a Dragon's Maw, which is about the perfect counter of tick spam. This is gonna stalemate out pretty quick down here unless somebody gets some artillery or T2 units, as there's getting to be a lot of pork here from the blue side, and there's a good amount of units from the red side. Meanwhile, we got some T2 coming through with lightnings. And a bowl. This rattlesnake is not enough to take out all of that. Scrooge's commander's going to be in trouble here. Gets a D-gun off, catches the bull, and then the lightnings are taken care of by some medium tanks. Still another bull out here and a rattlesnake on the opposing side. We've got ambassadors to try and take out enemies from range. Oh, it's so messy. Using ticks for vision with Sheldon behind. We have some T1 units trying to hold that off. That's not ideal. Down here, still maces, medium tanks facing off. What's the reclaim field down here at now? 4K? That's an easy T2 transition for anybody. It does look like Quet did get a T2 builder and is starting their conversion over to T2 mexes anyways. The blue team's economy is starting to take off ahead of the red team's. I feel like the red team had the promulgation first with the red player himself, who is going up to T3 at this point, just off of 2 fusion, so it's a little early of a T3 transition, I think. Maybe he's just gonna try and pump out like 8 or 9 Marauders and go for run by, or 3 or 4 Razorbacks. I don't know. We shall see. This rattlesnake here has been just obliterating the opposition. 33 kills now. Oh, that's got to be so frustrating for the blue team. Blue's still marching forward with the tick spam Sheldon combination. Does have AA with it as well, which I do like. Ooh, this Dragon's Claw here is going to start hitting these Sheldon. Okay. Taking out some of these, I think mean, I see the arrow for what blue is thinking to do here, but I don't know what he's going to allow. There's no units waiting to get through if he collapses on this defensive line. I feel like he'd be better off to continue on and get into the economy, but his skill is higher than mine, so I'm sure he has a plan here. So many ticks are to be sacrificed to breaking this. Scorpion pop-ups, pitbull pop-ups. These are some decent defenses going down. And then 2 heavy tanks coming in is not enough, especially when there's heavy tanks for the red team itself. We got Mauser now on the red side down here. What's the range? 820. What's the pop-up? 730. So we have Mausers from both sides. Banisher gets a shot in though. And these Mauser didn't back off. They're going down. The red side's defenses here are almost non-existent. Here, sumos and or mammoths. Mammoths right here, sumos up there. I really enjoy the mammoth as a unit. It's slow, it's clunky, but it's got tons of health, very fast fire rate, and good range. Looks like they're trying to bust through on the bottom, and they just eat a bunch of D-guns, although the commander's destruction there takes out a lot of the own units for the red team. Oh my. Carnage everywhere on this one. So now we have sumos and ticks leading the way for Sheldon's behind. Now they're coming up to this eco on the north side, which has a rattlesnake now. The sumos can definitely make it to the rattlesnake. They have a lot of health. They're just sort of slow and clunky. They are good at dealing with chaff. Looks like Red did decide for the Razorbacks. I got the name right this time. Last cast I called them Marauders the whole time, as someone was astute to point out afterwards. I messed up. Alright, Razorbacks coming through. I'm going to start pushing all this back. But while they're pushing back on the top side, the bottom, oh, that's a lot of Mausers. Oh my. Shuriken are going to come in, and I don't see any AA again down here. Oy. I thought we would have learned by now. A lucky shot from a Banisher just took out like 7 Shurikens. I can't believe that. Oh my. Oh no, Orange's economy is getting trashed. About to lose his T2 lab. There it goes. This does not bode well for the red team. I don't know if these 4 Razorback are going to be able to deal equivalent damage across the other side. And the orange player is effectively gone at this point. No production left. Almost no economy left. Well, we get a rattlesnake built up here, which, if they push into this, it's not enough to hold. But as they go past like this is going to get so much value. Working up though. Gonna get the economy here for Zim. Not a lot of these Mausers left though at this point. But Rimmer is coming through with a lot of Tigers through the very back half of the map. So not all of Zim's economy went away. Unfortunately, that's not the end of it. We got spy bots here from Skag. Starlight's coming out, which are a great defensive option. I almost did it again. Razorback coming down to a Banisher here. It's just standing still, not being controlled. I think we're having APM issues. Rimmer here is just obliterating the back line. The economy is in shambles for the red team at this point. And a lot of the red team are stepping out and resigning. Red, yellow, fuchsia, they've all already left. And with that, they resign. GG is called. Blue team takes the win in this action-packed game. If you like the game, like the cast, please leave me a like down below. If there's anything you want to see or anything I can do better, leave me a comment down in the comments section. Otherwise, thank you, and we'll see you again.